Hello and welcome back to my channel. So today we're going to be reviewing this SAHARAN palette by JUVIA'S, and this is a beautiful palette. This has already been in one of my monthly favourites, but I wanted to try it out a little bit more and see what I thought of it and give a full in-depth review for you guys. There are swatches in this video as well. I could leave like some timestamps in the description if that'd be easier. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll leave some timestamps in the description so you can just skip ahead to swatches if you want to. I'll link all the products that I use down below in the description box, and you can go ahead and check out anything I've used. So I really hope you enjoyed the video, and let's go ahead and get into it. And if you haven't already, please don't forget to subscribe before you leave, and if you like the video, please give it a like and feel free to comment down below. So yeah, let's get into it. I know I said that already. Let's go ahead and get into it. Okay, so I'm greeting you today with no eye makeup on, but my face makeup done and a load of powder under my eyes, and you know, just drink it all in. It's a good look, right? Not really. So I'm gonna be doing my little SAHARAN palette like review and tutorial today. Here's what the palette looks like. You've got your colours in there, and then they've all got the names just underneath. I like that. I don't like it when things have like the little plastic overlay thing, because you know it's just the kind of thing that's gonna get thrown away or lost. Like, it's just gonna happen. But you've got all the names listed underneath. I'm going to apologise in advance if I mispronounce something. I've been looking up how to pronounce some of these, so I've put in a bit of effort and I've tried, but I really couldn't find much for most of them. But yeah, I apologise in advance. So you've got all the names listed underneath, and you've got a very nice shade range in here. You've got 1, 2, 3, 4. You've got 4 matte shades, and the rest are shimmers. And like, I usually prefer a palette with more mattes than that. But you know, it's all about personal preference, because I do find that, so these are matte, this one's matte, and this one's matte as well. So I do find that those 4 are quite good to pair with any of the shimmers. So I don't mind it too much that there's only 4 matte shades in here. Okay, to start off this eye look, I'm going to go in with Katsina, which is this sort of matte mid-brown shade. It's quite neutral in tone. I'm going to take that on my Sigma E40 tapered blending brush, and I'm going to start gently putting that into the crease. And I've already primed my eyes and set them with a little bit of powder. I'm just taking my time to blend that colour out. This one's come out looking a little bit of a different colour. I think there might have been a little bit of excess powder on this brush, even though I cleaned it off of my colour switch. Well, it's like my dupe of it, the shade and swap from W7. I did clean it off on that. I think there was like a little bit of excess on it, so I've redone this one a little bit. Because it looks a bit red, and I think it's probably because of the brush. But I'm just going to softly blend that out and make sure it's really diffused as my base colour. I'm not going for any sort of like particular shape with this eye look, just soft and diffuse on the end. I'm not trying to create too much of a wing shape here. I'll probably be adding a winged liner. Anyway, I'm just going to go for like the typical eye look that I've been doing with this palette. I might add in some other colours. I'm going to go in with Sokoto and Jamila mixed, and I'm going to take them on this Real Techniques base shadow brush, and I'm going to start putting them into the outer crease and bring them probably to around the centre. And I'm just going to build that up to my sort of desired pigmentation and create little circular motions to blend it out. These two mixed together are really, really nice. I like them individually, but I like them mixed probably just like a little bit more. It just creates a really nice sort of deep reddy shade with a little bit of an orange tone to it. And I'm again just focusing this on the outer corner. I'm just adding a tiny bit into the rest of the crease just to blend out. These do look a bit more intense in person than they are picking up on camera as well, just to let you know. Okay, and then I'm also going to take a little bit of Chad mixed with Jamila to create sort of a slightly darker colour. And I'm just going to pop that on the outer corner just to create a bit more definition. I'm taking this on a little small brush. I'm just taking this base shadow brush from Real Techniques again, and I'm just going to blend out that area with a little bit more of the black shade in that palette. I just wanted to use that smaller brush to lay it down with, and now I'm sort of smoking it out and blending it with the brush that I used for the red shades. Okay, now I'm going to take this gorgeous goldy green shade called Wadabi on a flat brush. I'm going to pack this onto the lid. I would do a cut crease, but I don't really think it's necessary because this will cover up any shadow that's ended up on the lid anyway, because it's really, really pigmented. Now to get that sort of extra sort of kick of pigment, I'm just going in with my finger. These shimmer colours are really, really beautiful with a finger, so if you can apply them with your finger, it's just that little bit, you just get that little bit more kick of shimmer and pigment using your finger than you do with a flat brush. You could try using these with Fix Plus, but I don't really think it needs it. I just think if you can use your finger or get a really dense flat brush, then that's a good way to go about it. You can also start off with your finger and then use a brush to fill in like the inner corner, because that can be hard to get to, or if you're someone with nails, you might need to do that anyway. You can always, you know, go on with your finger in the centre of your lid and then use a flat brush for the inner corner. I'm also just bringing the shade quite far down, popping a little bit on the inner corners, but I will be adding another shade on there as well. I'm just blending back over my crease with this Morphe M139 brush, just in case any shimmers gotten into the crease, and just sort of really blending those colours together. I'm really pleased with how this eye looks turning out. This gold colour is absolutely stunning and looks really nice with like the black in the crease as well. I'm going to take Iman, which is this sort of bluey silver colour. I'm just taking this on this like flat side of this Eco Tools brush. I feel like all my little brushes are dirty at the moment, which is really annoying, but I'm just going to pop this on the inner corner. That colour is like a really pretty sort of silvery, pinky, purple, iridescent shade. It's so pretty. It's probably not really picking up on camera what it actually looks like, but it's definitely got a sort of duochrome effect to it. I'm just going to go ahead and sweep off my bake using the Wet n Wild Colour Icon bronzer in the shade Reserve Your Cabana. I'm just taking this on a fluffy brush and I'm just going to sweep off all that bake. You do get a little bit of fallout with these shadows, but I find that there's like powder going everywhere. I do find that most of the eyeshadows I like have fallout anyway, but I usually find that just putting a bit of powder on underneath your eyes and, you know, baking, it usually catches it. And you can also get like a loose powder brush and sweep off any excess that does fall down. Okay, I'm now going to go into the shade Kia, which is this sort of like bluey colour, and I'm going to go ahead and put that on the lower lash line. I'm trying to use as many colours as I possibly can, so I'm going to start off with this on this Real Techniques brow brush, but I quite like this for the lower lash line. Okay, and then lastly I'm going to take Zoya, which is this sort of rose gold colour, on this Real Techniques fine liner brush, and I'm going to put that on the inner portion of the lower lash line. Okay, so I'm going to go do some liner and lashes, and I'll be back to talk to you about some swatches. Okay, so I've just put on a little bit of liner and some lashes. I'm just wearing the Jeffree Star Cosmetics Leo lipstick, and I've put a bit of Luna from the Aurora Glow Kit Anastasia Beverly Hills highlighter on. Now into the swatches. So I can only fit like half on my arm at once. So basically for the first set of swatches is this top row, and then these two here. Then the second set of swatches will be these two, and then the bottom row. I've mentioned this in the video before, but I don't really have the best setup for swatches, and I can't really show like super close up, but basically what I've done is I've taken the BH Cosmetics 120 brush, I've used that for the matte shades, and the BH Cosmetics 122 brush for the shimmer shades, and then I've cleaned them off in my shade swap from W7, which is essentially a dupe of the colour switch from Vera Mona, so that I'm not making the brushes wet or anything like that, and just to clean off in between each swatch. I've taken this kind of method from Stephanie Nicole. You probably know who she is. If you don't, you should go ahead and check her out. She's just Stephanie Nicole on YouTube. She does really amazing in-depth eyeshadow tutorials, and I found that this method is quite similar to what she does, and I think it's the most accurate way to show swatches. For the swatches, I also primed my arm with the Lorac Behind the Scenes eyeshadow primer. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and show you the swatches. So we have them down my arm here. This is Sokoto, then it's Wadabi, Baroro, Kia, and then I believe it's Zoya, and then Iman. Let me just check that that one is Zoya. I remember that off the top of my head then. I was really pleased. Yeah, Zoya. So Sokoto I would describe as sort of it's basically a bright red colour. It doesn't really have much of an undertone. It's pretty much a basic red to me, but it's not like super bright. And then you've got Wadabi, which is a beautiful sort of gold colour with sort of a green hint to it. Sorry, a little bit of Sokoto got onto that there. I do not know how that happened. And then you've got Baroro, which is a deepened shimmery cranberry colour. Then you've got Kia, which is a blue-brown duochrome. It's very similar to like MAC's Blue Brown, or I think Insomnia from Makeup Geek. And then we've got Zoya, which I would describe as a rose gold shimmer shade. And then you've got Iman, which is a sort of silvery colour with pink reflex. It's sort of like a duochrome. So I'm like pinching my arm. It probably looks really weird, but it's because this bit is sort of like going around. So, and it probably looks weird, but I'm trying to show you, okay? So, yeah, I describe it as a silvery colour with sort of a duochrome finish. Here is just a clip of the colours again so you can see them a bit better. So on the left hand side, so this is a brush swatch, finger swatch, brush swatch, finger swatch. And it just goes down the line like that. So as you can see, there's not too much difference between the brush and finger. I do like the shimmers better with a finger, but it's all down to personal preference really, because there's not too much difference between the finger and the brush swatches, in my opinion anyway. Okay, so here we are for the second round of swatches. Like I said before, this will be this one, and then the bottom row. I'm just going to show them to you like this because it's a little bit easier. So this one up the end is Jamila, and again this is finger swatch, sorry, brush swatch, finger swatch, brush swatch, finger swatch. So this is Jamila, which is sort of a burnt orange colour. Then you've got Senegal, which is like a sort of bronzy gold shade, and this is actually a really well performing colour. As you can see, it looks really good with the brush and really good with the finger as well. Then you've got Chad, which is the black shade. I would describe this as more of a charcoal colour because it's not a true black. It's almost got sort of a hint of green to it. And it's not super pigmented, but I don't actually mind that because it's easier to sort of build up. Then we've got Katsina, which is that matte brown colour, which is really good as a transition shade or a base shade depending on your skin tone. And then here we've got Lulu, which is sort of like a rosy pink colour with sort of an orange shift to it. It's slightly less shimmery than some of the others, but it's a really pretty shade. And then lastly we have Fula, which is a pinky colour with, yeah, just a lot of nice shimmer in it. Okay, so that are the swatches for you. Sorry if the camera angle changed a little bit, I just moved it to show the swatches on my arm. So overall, what do I think of this palette? As you may have guessed, I've tried not to give too much away, I suppose. I haven't really given too many opinions on this so far, but I really do like this palette. I do feel like you can get a variety of looks out of this. I think it's more versatile than perhaps I initially thought. So you could take Katsina and maybe Zoya and create a very sort of simple look with a nice shimmer on the lid. Again, you could do something quite dark and dramatic like I've got going on here and use lots of the different colours. I find that they work really well together, this colour selection in particular. So down to the formula itself, I think they blend nicely and I really like the way that the shimmers are. The shimmers are really amazing. You don't need to wet them with like Fix Plus or any other kind of setting spray. I think that using your finger or a flat brush alone is perfectly fine and they come out looking really amazing. These are honestly some of the best shimmer shades I think I've ever tried. Now, wear time. This is where it gets interesting, and I mean interesting in a good way. There's nothing bad going on here. But I took this palette on holiday with me, and then before we like left the hotel to travel back home, it was like an 8-hour flight. I did my makeup and I used this palette, and I used Sokoto and Jamila, and I put a bit of Wadabi on the lid. And I think that was it. I might have used a bit of Casino as well just to start off with, but I put that on and then we left, and I was travelling for around 14 hours, and when I got home there was still some on and I couldn't believe it. So even after like a really long time of travelling, and I was on like a coach and then a plane and then like on the train, you know, there was a lot going on, but there was still some left at the end of it, and it didn't look completely terrible considering what it had been through. It held up really, really well, and the colour stayed quite intense when you consider that, you know, I hadn't been able to touch it up or anything like that because all my stuff was in my suitcase. So that's one thing that's really, really impressed me about these eyeshadows, that they are incredibly long wearing, on me anyway. Just to let you know, I am mainly dry skinned. I have like, yeah, I'm dry. I'm basically dry. Sometimes I get a tiny little bit like oily in like my T-zone, but for the most part I am dry. And when I did that, I just used Shape Tape as a base, just used concealer as a base. I don't really think these require a specific eye primer. So if you wanted to find an affordable palette, I mean, these are, you know, they're not really, really cheap, but they're not super expensive either. And I think for the quality, they are very, very affordable for the quality that you're getting here. So if you don't want to splash out on an eye primer but you still wanted some really nice colours to work with, I would definitely recommend these. I've also got the Zulu palette to try out as well, because I bought this one and I just thought, oh, it's amazing, I need to try some more of their palettes, because they all just look really good and they do really appeal to me, the shades that they've got. So overall, I really, really love this palette. I think it's amazing. This has already been in one of my favourites videos. I literally couldn't help myself. I just had to put it in there. I really hope you enjoyed this sort of review and tutorial. And if you had any questions about this palette or any requests for other reviews you might want me to do, then just go ahead and let me know down below. I would like to do a review on the Zulu palette soon as well. I need to get into that and try it out a bit and see what it's like, because that's got a lot of like matte bright colours in. I think those are quite difficult to get right. So it will definitely be an interesting one to play around with. I really hope you enjoyed watching this video, and I'll see you in the next one. Thanks for watching. Bye!